Our third pitfall, I hope you guys are taking a lot of notes here, but our third pitfall, of course, is payout and ranks. And ranks, oh my goodness, we could talk all day long about ranks, but I have a few slides here to explain to you ranks in a nutshell. But ranks are probably the worst thing you can ever have in any kind of compensation plan. So if your company has a rank, big game over, okay? So does your comp plan have ranks? And let me start by asking this. What do you think is the purpose of having a rank? And most people will tell me, well, Renee, maybe it's for different things, but really the answer is ranks only have one purpose and only one purpose. And that purpose is not to motivate you. So one of the purpose of ranks is definitely not to motivate you. In other words, people often think that ranks are in place because it creates people to be motivated to work the plan to try to achieve these different ranks, but it's not. They don't motivate you. Trust me, it's a common myth because there's only one purpose of ranks, and that the purpose is ranks simply restrict the flow of money from the company to you. It's restricting how much you make. Because think about this. Companies only have ranks in place because they can't afford to pay everyone the same payout. If they did, most companies would go bankrupt. Okay? So think about this. Why does someone who has accomplished this super NATO commander rank, this really high paying rank, make more than you do? Why is that? You're both working so hard, so why does one get more? Why does person A, who's been coming for 5 years, doing all this work, has a super GI Joe rank, get paid more than you do for doing the same work? Is that fair? Again, most people don't realize that there's other comp plans in the world like GWT, where you can join today, and I've been in business for 5 years, we make exactly the same amount of money. We follow exactly the same compensation plan. Nothing says that I can make more than you because I have this rank. So it does exist in GWT. So again, if a company says that they pay out 50% payout, total company payout is 50%, but you have to accomplish the Super NATO Commander rank or the Super Special Triple Diamond 5-star Janitor rank to unlock the 50%, then it's not 50%. It means that it's 50% if you unlock the highest rank. So most people who are in the companies are not even seeing 50%, they're probably seeing 20%. Again, people just don't know there's something else better out there. Because in GWT, we have no ranks. You can make the highest amount of income that anyone else can just by being the diamond package. That's it. That's how special a comp plan is. So again, other companies have these huge bonuses, okay, that it looks so fancy on paper. You're thinking, wow, I can make $1 million bonus if I achieve this rank. But again, if you have to unlock these ranks or reach these ranks to unlock these bonuses, then what in the world does these bonuses really have to do with you? Because in the company, if you only have one Super NATO Janitor GI Joe janitor guy at the very top, who's this rank, who's getting all this money, then that bonus doesn't apply to 99% of the people in the company, right? Because if you have to be this top rank to get this, and there's only one person with that rank, then those bonuses have nothing to do with 99% of the people in the company. So really, if you understand this in the future, ranks are simply a pain in the behind, okay? Because number one, you have to achieve the rank firstly, and it's not easy to do that. And I've done that in my last company where I had to climb, I guess, the rank hierarchy. It's such a hard work to do that. Then you have to maintain the rank because, oh, what happens if you were to lose your rank? You have to maintain that rank. And the question I just asked you is, can you lose your rank? Because if you can lose your rank, then the other question you ask yourself is, if you lose your rank, do you lose the bonuses that are attached to that rank? And furthermore, can your team lose their ranks? So if your team can lose their ranks, then do you lose your rank too? So if you're this rank, above your other guys, and your guy in your team loses his rank, do you lose your rank as well too? And usually you do. So Here is a very simple understanding if you're wondering, well, Renee, what do you mean by ranks and how does ranks work? So in this funny diagram here, we simply have 5 ranks, okay? We have A, B, C, D, and E rank. That's how it works. And so to become a D rank, what you have to have is have 2 E's, okay? So have 2 people, for example, who join your team, 2 E's, okay? And to have to become a C, you have to have your 3Ds. And to become a B rank, you have to have 4 Cs. And so again, each of the Cs will have their own 3Ds, and those own 3Ds will have their own 2Ds. And to become an A rank, which is the Super NATO GI Joe rank up here, okay, you have to have 5 Bs. So as you can see, to go up the rank and hierarchy, it gets harder and harder and harder because you have to build more structures and have people in different leagues at certain levels, okay? And that is how it works. So, and there's you. You in the green, that's where you are. And so in other words, right now you have 3Ds in your team. Now, to give you some ideas of what can happen in this is, let's say that's you again, but now you're not a C, you are currently a D. So you are a D and you want to become a C rank, okay? To become a C rank, you want to have 3Ds, right? But you don't because over here you have an E. So what's your goal? Your goal right now is you want to help this E person become a D status, okay? And we have what's called compensation plan contradictions. In other words, you might think that it makes sense that you want to help E become a D, but really there's a contradiction here because yes, you want to help E become a D, but at the same time, you don't want to help your other 2Ds. You don't want to help them because uh, of the adverse effects that might happen to you. So, because what happens if one of your other Ds is growing really fast, is hot shot in your team? What if this other D in your team becomes a C rank first before you do? So before you got a chance to attain this C rank, they beat you to it. Then what happens? And uh-oh, I can tell you it's not going to be a good thing because this happened to me before in my last system here. But if this person here now became a C, in other words, they have their 3Ds and you are still a D rank, what happens now? Well, you just lost a whole lot of bonuses. If your plan was bonus focused, then you just got the big game over clause. So what's going to happen here is traditionally it's backwards because the people who are on fire working your team, this hot shot, this became a C, usually you want to keep pouring fuel on the fire because they're the hot shot. But in these kind of rank situations, you're forced to make this hot shot slow down because if he goes too quickly, goes beyond you, then you just got screwed essentially. Okay, so again, it's a contradiction. So another example of what's bad about ranks is let's say you are here and you are a C rank currently. Okay, so you have your 3Ds. Okay, that's great because you managed to actually build the structure perfectly and the timing was just right. But what happens if one of the D in your team loses his rank and becomes an E? Well, usually if this D person here lost his rank and became an E, then you just lost your rank too. And you became a D rank as well. And now you also lost a bunch of your bonuses and commissions. And again, game over. And what's really scary about these kind of ranks is not only does it demotivate you, and you might be able to be strong enough to remotivate yourself to do it again, but it demotivates your team member who just lost their rank. In most cases, they're going to want to quit. So I see people climb up ranks very quickly and lose their ranks very quickly because they couldn't sustain themselves. But ranks are just a problem within itself. And I have had serious problems in the past before in my other companies, again, with ranks. So I understand the pains of how this worked. Okay. Because, for example, in my last company, most of you know Sherry Zhao and myself. Sherry Zhao, of course, is our first female regional ambassador. And in our last company, she was the one who actually sponsored me into the business. And what happened to her was I actually ended up doing really well, and I actually surpassed her rank. So, for example, Sherry might have had a C rank, and I was a D, but then I became a C, and then I became a B rank. So unfortunately, I didn't realize this because all I cared about was how much I was making. But little did I know that, Sherry, because I surpassed her rank, got the big game over. So, and I didn't realize this until it actually happened to someone in my team, and then it happened to me. So again, it might motivate you at first, but I can guarantee you it'll destroy you, it'll demotivate you later on. Alrighty, so pitfall number 4. Okay. Oh, by the way, um, if it sounds like a gloomy, doomy kind of call, don't worry because in GWT, we don't have these kind of problems. We pay you so much more. We have no ranks. In GWT, the grass is greener. Okay, pitfall number 4, payout gimmicks and card programs. There have literally been thousands of lawsuits from distributors suing the companies for the card programs. Why? Because whose name is on the list? Is it yours or the company's? Okay, in most cases, you are forced to put your name on the lease. And what happens if you don't maintain the qualifications for your car? What happens to you then? Well, if your name was on the lease and you don't maintain your qualification for the car program, the company won't pay you your car allowance. So guess who's paying for the car now? You. And if you don't have that $1,000 per month available to pay for that BMW or that luxury car program, then you're in serious trouble now because now you have to try to get rid of your lease. So again, if you end up paying for it, it can actually make you bankrupt because you're literally using all of your savings and your income to pay for this car that you didn't really, you shouldn't have put on a lease in the first place. So be very careful with companies that give you a car too quickly. If you get a car too quickly, it's a big warning to be very careful because it means that most likely you'll be paying for it yourself. Okay? And besides, would you rather get a car lease that you have to pay and commit $1,000 a month at the very least to drive, and you just got started, or would you rather take that $1,000 in cash? And for most people who just started this company or started a company and aren't making the huge incomes yet, it makes more sense to take the money. So, in GWT, what's nice is that we pay you most of the earnings in commissions. So again, we pay you well more than $1,000 in cash in commissions, and we don't force you to get stuck in this car lease. So again, if you look as an example, which is actually a real-life example, there have been many BMWs on LeaseBuster because the people who qualified them at first cannot maintain the qualifications for the free payment and are now trying to get rid of them. Again, game over. Because in GWT, once you get the car, it's yours without any qualifications. You don't have to maintain anything every single month. The car is yours to drive. And so again, pitfall number 4 is about the gimmicks and the car programs. Okay,